let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, I'm John.
And I'm Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of the favorite action movies from the era of...
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Kevin!
Oh, John.
Whoa!
I am so drunk.
She's so drunk. There's a girl in the garden.
Totally. Bloody Mary.
You're in the garden right now.
Oh, my God.
Man, we're feeling good.
Dude, bourbon is good.
We've been sampling some bourbons that we picked up on our Bourbon Trail excursion back in October, and we're not sad about it, and neither should you be. And we're hoping that during all of this that you've gone out and gotten some things that you like to drink and that you're drinking along with us.
This Jingle All the Way is a movie that no one should experience sober. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, in retrospect,
I got
as
some
a child.
non-alcoholic eggnog.
Yeah, boo.
What the
No.
fuck?
Yeah.
No such thing, my friend. But yes, we're here to talk more about it. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome to all our loyal
All of our
listeners.
friends.
All of our friends of the last of the Action Heroes Podcast Network. Welcome to Andrew. Shout out to his podcast. What was it called? Used to be cool.
Yeah.
Check that shit out.
It's excellent.
I have and will again.
Definitely.
I'll be on there at some point, hopefully.
Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel Day-Lewis, Judi Dench, all our
Jake Lloyd.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, all the
She's on that
people
shit.
we're like you're either in the West End or you're in Soho in London listening to us now.
I think
and then
Wes
upstairs.
Studi is a regular listener to the podcast.
He's probably flown over there to listen with them.
Oh, they hang out in the loft in the Soho
I think
loft.
I think they're all in London right now above like a cricket batting facility that is sort of like
it's like Austin Powers is flat.
No, it's sort of like a batting cage, but it's cricket.
Okay.
But they're all upstairs above
Okay.
it. And then they come down and they have a drink and they talk about their careers
What are
and
they
acting
drinking?
tips.
Scotch,
Everything.
the finest.
Gin, scotch, white wine, fizzy if you're nasty.
Okay. Are you able to catch us up on what's been going on in Jingle All the Way?
So
The 1996 Schwarzenegger fucking masterpiece.
classic. Yeah.
It's
So
a seminal work.
So his character, Howard Langston, is a deadbeat father.
True. Facts.
A big business owner who has fallen
He's
asleep
the
at the wheel
king of the Twin Cities.
of the Twin Cities, has fallen asleep on the job of getting his child the action figure of the moment.
He hasn't been satisfying his child nor his wife.
No one's needs have been met. So he goes out trying to find the figure on Christmas Eve, and it is Black Friday all day, out and about. No luck. He meets up with an antagonist character played by Sinbad, who is a mailman. Kevin's snorting at his glass. A mailman. They're both after the same toy, and he gets double-crossed at the mall, and then told by... right?
He got two!
Right.
He got two! He maced me! Something like that.
Right.
Sure.
Hold on.
They've been duking it out for this Turboman doll.
So, yeah, then... Hold on. Let me pause for a
He ran
second.
afoul of a dirty Santa.
Wait, are we already past the diner? Have I blacked out?
They're in the diner now. Yeah, they're leaving the diner to go and to the radio station.
Holy
How's
shit,
the
man.
bourbon, John?
It's good. Holy shit.
Time out. Let's run that back.
Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, John.
Hello, my friend.
How you feeling?
Feeling much better than the last time we were together doing this. That's for damn sure.
I don't want to put you on blast.
No.
But do you want to tell
We
them?
should. Yeah, we'll tell our listeners a cautionary tale about drinking too much bourbon on a relatively empty stomach, because we are in the process of recording an episode that you probably never hear unless we put out a blooper reel, dear listeners. And your boy got drunk. Got very drunk.
Got real hiccupy.
Yeah, man. It's the worst.
I could tell something was amiss when we were recapping the previous episode, and you're like, wait, we already talked about this stuff? I was like, what?
You're like, uh-oh.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, my God. Bad
But
news.
We're back now to take you a little further on this amazing journey.
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way, episode 4.
Holiday classic.
Of sorts.
Not really.
It's definitely Arnold's best Christmas movie.
Does he have another?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Great. Then awesome. Yeah, then definitely, for sure.
I'm getting some positive reviews about the early Jingle All the Way episodes.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I think a lot of people have either a fondness for this movie, or they can at least appreciate the outlandish, like unhinged
The buffoonery.
nature of the movie. Yeah, that very little makes sense.
Right. We were just talking a moment ago, we like to recap the previous episode, and literally nothing happened in the episode before this.
Very little. Yeah.
So he follows Jim Belushi back to this warehouse because Jim Belushi's told him he's got a toy
Got
for
a Turbo
him.
Man for sale.
Got a Turboman for sale. And when he gets to this secret location, it's like a warehouse full of Santas and Mrs. Clauses and elves, and it's sort of like the warehouse in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original one, where there's just everyone's up to no good. And
But
they're
except generically, it was supposed to seem like shady things were happening.
Yeah.
But it was hard to tell what the criminal activity was. They were just stuffing stockings.
yeah,
and
it sort of looked like they just like robbers had just stolen stuff like wholesale, and we're gonna like turn it for profit
Resell
or
it
something.
or
Yeah,
something?
that's sort of the
Yeah.
vibe I got. And so, needless to say, the Turbo Man doll that they have for him is a Spanish-speaking one, and it immediately falls apart. And so he had forked over $300 for it, and they're like, "You're not getting your money back." And then he gets into a brawl with like all of the Santas, including the Big Show, professional wrestling's own The Big Show. Mini Me, Vern Troyer was there as well. It's like a tiny Santa that got launched at someone at some
Somehow he
point.
wasn't an elf; he was a Santa.
Yeah.
It's a strange choice.
So yeah, he's getting down with all the Santas, and people are getting thrown around, and there's like a martial arts Santa, and then suddenly the police come in, and it's like a big sting operation, and he, like, right as he's about to get arrested or something, like grabs a toy police badge and like fools them into thinking he's a detective.
Right.
And so he makes it out of there, and then we see him driving back to Minneapolis, and his van runs out of gas.
Of course.
Or not van, but his truck. And so he, in a feat of strength, pushes it across the bridge.
Yes, he went
to the
John Matrix.
yeah, to the closest diner.
We didn't discuss. Is this an entry in the Julius Benedict clone universe?
Oh, definitely. I think so.
He is one of the clones. He's like a sleeper agent or something.
Yeah.
He like hasn't been activated.
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely. And while he's in the diner, lo and behold, Sinbad's in there too. And while they're in there talking to one another, they hear on the radio that the station's going to be giving away a Turbo Man doll to the first person that can call in and name all 8 of Santa's reindeer.
Fact.
So there's a tussle. Payphone, blast from the past, gets ripped out of the wall, and then the guy that's working the diner informs them that the radio station's just right around the street. You guys can just like run there.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
It's on.
That's all that happened.
The race is on. Yeah, that's totally it. Okay, so we're on the street. We've got Howard, that's a Schwarzenegger, saying, I've got the answer. But Myron hip checks him into these like newspaper vending machines, those heavy metal shits, and like just that looked painful.
Yeah, they're like fuck your hip up.
Absolutely.
For real.
Now, Howard gets back up, though, and he surpasses Myron. He's like, I could run like this for miles, which to argue for the Julius Benedict,
Yeah.
I was like,
Of course you could.
remember when Julius Benedict ran those back-to-back marathons?
Yeah.
Like, he ran like fucking across Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Back-to-back in street clothes. Flip-flops.
He's also like just shouting the reindeer names to himself, like so he won't forget them.
Okay. So Myron starts just tossing mail out of his bag, I guess to lighten the load. He's tossing packages at Howard as he runs, which that made me wonder. So is Myron supposed to be on the job today?
I think so. Yeah.
He's in uniform and he's got that bag but we haven't seen him doing one bit of work.
He's been looking for a turbo.
He's looking for the turbo man. Okay, fair enough. So Howard is the first to get to the radio station. He takes the elevator up to the studio, begins banging on the glass door and screaming that he's got the answer. Then Howard tries to yank the door open.
I love that when he gets on, like you could hear somebody like called in and started naming members of the Jackson family.
Yeah, Tito, Jermaine. But yeah, he's banging on the door trying to yank it open. The DJ calls 911.
Yeah, that's Martin Mull, who is Leon from Roseanne. He was Roseanne's boss at the diner, and he was also Gene Parmesan on Arrested Development.
What a great name.
Fucking awesome.
And that's why you don't ever try to teach your kids a lesson.
So good.
And apparently started off as like a folk singer.
Oh, that's very cool.
And is like in the 70s or something like that, and then sort of transitioned into a comedy guy. But yeah. So Howard then kicks the door open and the glass of the door just shatters everywhere. Feat of strength, maybe.
Yeah.
Howard grabs the DJ, he rattles off the names of the reindeer while he's sort of dancing around and celebrating that he got it. Myron arrives, but he's too late. Howard tells him, I already gave the right answer. And Myron's like, well, I don't need the right answer because I got this, and yanks a package out of his mailbag, which he says is a bomb.
He's deranged.
Yeah, shit just got real. He says, they're like saying, what, you build a bomb? And he's like, no, I didn't build it, but there's just bombs in the mail all the time. Which this was, I think, the era of the Unabomber as well.
Yeah.
So maybe that was like a timely reference. Howard tells him, it's not worth doing all this over a toy. And Myron's like, well, it's worth it to me. So Howard tries to make nice with Myron, but Myron's not having any of that. Myron says, I tried to be your teammate, but you weren't interested. You're no different than all those other letter writers, he calls him, which I like, a letter writer, who laughs at my knee socks and safari hats in the summer, which was that was funny to me.
Yeah.
That made me laugh. I think the DJ was laughing as well.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, you laughing at me? He's like, I bet you're one of those guys who leaves the trash cans in front of the mailbox. Like he is on his mailman grievance shit. It's the airing of grievances.
That's right.
If this is a Festivus.
We
got the Feats of Strength. There's going to be a wrestling match at some point for sure. Myron continues raging. He's like loses his grip on the bomb, which goes flying across the studio. Everyone hits the deck, and the bomb lands right next to Howard. And then we hear the music box chimes of Jingle bells.
It's like tinkly
playing.
Music box version.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. So Howard rips the package open, discovers Shazam. It's a music box. Howard stares a hole at Myron. And Myron is like, I'm sorry.
This is so funny.
I've been under a lot of pressure since the Zip Plus 4 thing, which is fucking another killer delivery.
Yeah.
And I don't understand for the life of me what the 4 numbers are for.
It's like sometimes when I'm sure you've seen it when you order something and it's like it'll correct your zip code by adding in that 4-digit subcode, which I'm like, I have
it must be sorting something in the post office must help it get onto the right truck or something like that. But yeah, to your point, if the computer knows what my 4 are just based on my street address and my 5-digit zip code, then it shouldn't be necessary. Yeah. But anyway, Howard jumps up to his feet.
This is so good.
Now I'm mad at the Zip Plus 4.
Yeah.
So I feel you, Myron. But Howard jumps to his feet. He grabs Myron and he winds up to punch him out. And he's like, "Don't hit me. I got sickle cell."
So good.
I feel like all the racial type lines had to have all been improvs from Sinbad.
Big time.
Ain't no way a white writer wrote those lines like the Rodney King shit and all that. So the DJ steps in between them, tells him, "Look, I don't have a Turbo Man here in the studio.
I don't have it with
me. He just says, I've got a gift certificate that can be exchanged for a Turbo Man once they're back in stock.
What good is that to anyone? On Christmas Eve,
it's not.
Shit.
Yeah, no, but that sounds about right to me.
Yeah, I remember in the days of Power Rangers and stuff, you call in and get a Power Ranger, like a Red Ranger or whatever it was.
As in they actually, 94. As in you were going to walk out with the Ranger. You
if you got it right, then you came by to the station and could pick it up. Yeah.
So, Howard grabs the gift certificate away. They're both sort of staring at it, what the fuck is this? And then Myron and Howard go after the DJ, like they were going to rough him up when we hear police sirens outside. This movie has got twists and turns like a fucking episode of Game of Thrones. Or something
intrigue for days.
It's some M. Night Shyamalan type shit going on. But Howard and Myron, they turn to get out of there. But Myron then shoves Howard into this rack of tapes, which is just awesome.
That gives me agita. Those things were organized, man. Someone's going to have to clean that up, you bastard.
Oh, man. So Myron is the first to the elevators. All the doors open simultaneously.
Yeah.
And cops just come pouring out. Howard sees Myron surrounded, and he darts out of the lobby for the stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
Those guns were out in a fucking heartbeat when they saw a black man.
Yeah, they're shit. We had a call of domestic terrorism, and there's a black mailman.
You didn't tell us he was a minority.
We
would have come in
gunned him down. They would have gunned him down immediately.
But Howard, he flings the door up and comes face to face with that same motorcycle cop that's been cropping up. I don't know what this guy's hours are. I feel like he's on a 24 straight hour shift.
He might be on that three straight days on, 4 days off thing.
He's just on he's wired on coffee and fucking cocaine.
He's on coke.
But that dude's got his gun already
just
drawn.
Can't stay out of trouble, can you?
Yeah. That dude was he's been itching to shoot somebody.
Oh, yeah.
This whole movie.
Yeah.
I feel like this dude's definitely killed in the line of duty before.
For sure. Well,
that's probably why he's busted down.
He was a detective. He's been demoted to motorcycle cop.
So the cop takes Howard back in the lobby at gunpoint. Myron pulls another box out of his bag and again says it's a bomb, and they better listen to him because he's a postal worker, so I'm crazy.
I'm not stable.
Yeah. So Howard confirms to the cops this man's totally insane.
Yeah, the delivery there was good from Arnold.
Yeah. So Myron tells the cops to put their guns down, which they reluctantly do. I think it's much more likely that at least one cop would have just fucking started
shot him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Howard, he sprints out back down the stairwell. Myron tells the cops, nobody else better move. Whatever, the bomb is going to go off. He says, I've got the ears of a snake. I don't know what that means. But he gets in the elevator, rides off. Motorcycle cop comes over, picks up the bomb, much to the dismay of all the other cops, says I was on the bomb squad for 10 years. Then he gives the package a real good shake, which, again, this dude's had a checkered past, this cop. You were 10 years on the bomb squad, and now you're working traffic duty?
Yeah.
He's probably got some brutality.
Yeah.
But yes, 10 years on the bomb squad does not typically lead to traffic cop.
Well, maybe maybe he's got a granddaughter he's trying to live for.
Maybe he's I want to be in more of a position to get my hands on somebody. Spread them. Get down. Get butt naked. Drop them. Drop those trousers. Bend over and cough.
Wait, what is he? Is he a cop?
He's doing full body cavity searches.
What's he doing?
Anyway, yeah, he's had so many misconduct complaints.
Yeah.
So many. So we see Howard and Myron. They've both made it out of the building. Back inside, the motorcycle cop is telling them, we've been duped by a fake bomb, rips the package open.
Why?
And boom.
Why prove the point? Just
I don't
why not,
know.
Why not just set the thing down and
You're
let's all
tampering
leave?
with the mail, sir.
Yeah.
That's a federal crime.
Yeah, if anyone's broken the law here, it's you.
But there's this giant explosion, and Myron and Howard, they stop dead in their tracks at the sound of the bomb going off. I feel like things have taken a really dark turn.
Yeah, somehow no cops were hurt.
Not even
except for the motorcycle cop, just like he's got soot on him.
Yeah, even him, he's like, he's sooty, he's fine.
Yeah.
It's like some Wile E. Coyote Looney Tunes.
It is a very much a cartoon moment.
He should have had, bloody stumps for the kids.
Just lots of people just like limbs hanging off. It's
shrapnel.
We're going to remake this movie.
Hard R.
Yeah.
So now we've got Howard. He's carrying a gas can back to where he left his Suburban parked in front of that diner. He walks up, finds the car's completely stripped.
Right.
And it's up on blocks. Like, completely stripped. It's the frame, I think, is remaining. They took like the seats out of the inside.
What is this supposed to say about downtown Minneapolis?
Right?
Like, are the Twin Cities, were they rough in the 80s?
I don't think it was like that. And why not just steal the car?
Yeah, I don't know.
It takes time to do this.
Yeah.
Like, what about I was wondering, like, the diner operator, was he just like watching it all go down?
He called someone to come
do this?
He called his nephew.
Oh,
I got this car here.
They stiffed me on the tip.
Y'all
they
get down
ran
here
out.
quick.
They didn't pay their tabs. Hell no.
He didn't pay for that coffee.
But now I was like, this was in those OnStar days. Like, was that still
OnStar, what's your emergency?
Is that still a thing you can pay for?
Uh-huh.
Okay, do you have it?
It was offered me. I could have taken it free for like a free trial for a year when I got my Buick.
Did you do it?
No,
you told them because you're never going to actually do it. They probably would auto subscribe you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so back in the neighborhood, Christmas carolers are singing as a tow truck comes to drop off Howard at the house.
What are they going to do? Just like slide the thing down like off the thing?
Well, so the dude, that's what I was thinking when I was watching. But then I think he was just taking him to his house because then he drove off with the car.
Okay. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. Yeah.
But did you ever do that type of caroling, like in the stove?
Never.
Pipe hats.
I've done caroling in like a Charles Dickens like era costume before, but never door to door. Like it was always like there's I think it's a national outfit called like What the Dickens, and they give you like costumes, and it's a 4-part quartet that goes to like basically corporate gigs and stuff like that. So yeah, that kind of caroling, and at churches and stuff like that.
The things you performers had to do to make ends meet.
That's right, baby.
These corporate gigs.
Yeah.
So Howard walks up to the house. He sees through his window Ted is in there putting the star on top of his Christmas tree.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, Howard is livid, which after the way the day has gone for him, I feel like it's understandable. I also presume at this moment he's a fugitive. Like,
yeah,
the police
true.
are looking for him, right?
That's true.
I would think. So motorcycle cop knows who he is. I think knows his address,
license and registration twice now.
Yeah, that shit should be on record.
He's on
somewhere.
record.
I feel like he's got bigger problems than the Christmas tree. But Liz enters. She likewise doesn't approve of Ted sort of overstepping his bounds here. Liz is carrying more like arms full of paper chains to hang up, and that house was already decked out with these paper chains hanging.
Who are
all
these
over
people
the place.
still decorating on Christmas Eve?
I mean, I just am like the set decorators were like, let's just paper chains, baby. Bring out more paper chains. That's what we can whip. We can whip them up fast.
And
just bring me some construction paper.
I need some construction paper or glue.
Yeah, man. So
that Elmer's glue stick.
Howard appears ready to go in the house and fucking tear Ted limb from limb.
I'm here for it. I'm out all day, and he's in my house putting up my star on my tree.
But then he hears Ted's voice in his head saying that I've got a Turbo Man. It's nestled safely under our tree, like playing a loop in his head, and he's like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna fucking steal that Turbo Man.
Oh, Ted. Oh, Howard, excuse me.
Which, of course, fuck Ted, right? But,
he had it coming.
Howard's got the perfect alibi at this point. You just show Liz the car and say, babe, I stopped off to shop for a gift for you and the Turbo Man got stolen. The whole car got stripped.
Yeah.
I had the Turbo Man. It's gone now.
Good call.
Right? Come on.
Yeah.
You got to be.
Howard. You gotta think quicker on your feet.
He's a king of lies already, I feel like. But he didn't. Come on, buddy. That's an easy one.
Yeah, that's a
that's what he said.
softball.
Oh, I was stopping to get you a diamond necklace, babe.
That's
and
a
then,
softball. No, I would have said, I stopped to have lunch after, and all of the presents were stolen.
Yes. I stopped to volunteer at the soup kitchen. And I came out. I stopped to bathe the homeless's feet. And hey, babe, they stole the Turbo Man. And yes, and the $10,000 diamond necklace that I bought you.
Missed opportunity, Howard.
Howard. What could I do?
What could I do? What could any of us do?
But anyway, back at Howard's home, Liz is explaining to Ted that, Howard's adamant that he always puts the star on top of the tree. And Ted's like, well, it's too bad he's not as adamant about being with his family on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I would say that Liz cycles through surprise at hearing the remark, and then resignation, then disappointment because it's true.
Yeah.
It's she goes through a lot of emotions in that split second that she's got.
Well, and Ted is putting the full court press.
Yeah, scorched earth.
He's turning the screws on the Langston
family. He's I want to live in this house by week's end. By New Year's Eve, I will bed this woman.
Yes, he's got
we'll be married.
He must have goals because he's trying hard to make it happen today.
Yeah.
It's got to happen today. You can just stand back, I feel like, and let Howard continue to self-destruct.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up, actually. To come and try to fuck up a relationship and a family.
Yeah, well, we get the gist that Ted is not stable.
No, he's a little fucked up.
He's got issues, severe ones.
So, meanwhile, Howard and Jimmy's opened Ted's door.
And some light B&E over here.
Enters the house, finds a gift under the tree all wrapped up in the Turbo Man paper, gives that thing a shake, and we hear, it's turbo time from the inside, which is that how that shit works? It just a shake?
Yeah.
Makes the noise? Sure.
Yeah,
why not? Back at Howard's house, the sound of the carolers swells as Ted drags Liz out to go listen. With the carolers out front, Howard goes to exit through the back door of the house. Ted attempts to put an arm around Liz's shoulder.
Pour it on, man. Chill the fuck out, Ted.
Yeah, dude.
Creep.
You got to be a little more subtle than this. But she shrugs him off. The faces that Phil Hartman makes, though, throughout, he's just making these weird smiles and
he's
great at this, at being this smarmy bastard.
Yeah. The Sultan of Smarm. Have we talked about how that was his nickname?
No.
Yeah, that was one of his nicknames, the Sultan of Smarm.
I don't think we talked about it. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Howard, he walks around to the back door. Then he sort of gets ashamed of himself. He's stealing from a kid, tells himself, I'm going to return this Turbo Man. But before he can do that, we hear the sound of the reindeer grunting at Howard. That reindeer was fucking cracked out, man.
Yeah.
It was like Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you watch the trailer?
I saw the trailer. I can't wait to see the movie. But that's exactly what I was like. This reindeer is like Cocaine Bear.
It's like rabid reindeer. So the reindeer comes chasing after Howard back into the house, running laps all around this place.
This part made me so uncomfortable. This massive destruction of property. It's like watching Greg unravel and meet the parents. It's like,
yes.
I'm like,
there's no going back. We've crossed the Rubicon now. It's like
you're
there's no fixing
you
this.
You are fucked.
Yeah.
You could have just lied about the car.
Absolutely, dude. He's running around. Fucking Ted has a life-size nativity scene set up in the living room.
In the house.
Which is wild. And a life-size Santa right there. But they bang into the wise men. One of the wise men's just head pops off and goes rolling into the fire. So that brings up, the topic of Ted's decor. That's odd choices. Yeah. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just he's going all out to make his son, to make Johnny's Christmas special.
I guess so.
But it's just it's that nativity you see, that big plastic nativity that you see in churches, in churchyards and stuff like that.
Never indoors.
Inside.
Maybe has a church sometimes set them up inside, in the sanctuary or whatever?
Sometimes, yeah, they'll have one up front, near the altar or stuff. But my mom is there are no fewer than 8 nativities of various sizes in my parents' house during Christmas. Just one that's
how big is the biggest one?
The biggest one could, I don't know, the shepherd and wise men. The wise men are probably, I don't know, what is that, 8 inches tall or so? Maybe
a foot?
10 inches.
Okay.
And it's like
that's pretty big.
Full big size stable. And
no 5 or 6 foot wise men in your house.
That's
so creepy. Dude, I would come down like in the night when it's dark or whatever and be freaked the fuck out.
I would as well. Not into it.
The dogs would definitely not dig it. But so Howard, I don't know. This is fucking,
Shit's insane.
So Howard, he gets away from the reindeer, shuts it in a room of the house. The burning wise man head at this point has set off the smoke detectors.
Right.
He desperately tries to put the fire out, and he just makes the fire worse, lights the rug on fire. Man, dude, just get the fuck out of there and let nature take its course.
Yeah, exactly.
The reindeer did it. I don't know what. This fucking reindeer got loose in the house and he started a fire.
Yeah.
The burned carcass of the reindeer tells no tales. I'm just at that point, I don't know, man. You gotta get the fuck out.
You gotta save yourself
out of there and take that Turbo Man with you.
That's.
I don't know if the whole house is gonna burn. You may as well.
Yeah, that's
have
true.
The Turbo Man. But Howard goes. He kicks the burning wise man head. It breaks through the window, lands in the front lawn or whatever. Sends the carolers all scattering.
Right.
They're mortified. Liz and Ted see Howard inside the house. And Howard waves sheepishly at them. Liz and Ted enter. They want to know what's going on. Ted grabs the gift out of Howard's hands.
See, this is if he knows they're coming in the house,
drop that gift.
Throw it on the ground, and then you could still say, "I saw the reindeer getting in the house," or something.
Anything.
Yeah.
Ted grabs that Turbo Man away from Howard. Says, "This is Johnny's Turbo Man," and Howard's it's not what it looks like. And Liz is what it looks like. It looks like you broke in our neighbor's house and you're stealing a child's toy. Which I was oh shit. Well then, it's exactly what.
Yeah,
it looks
that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Then Howard says, you're not going to believe this because it sounds crazy, but I want to tell you the truth. She cuts him off. She says she's heard his version of the truth enough times. She just wants to take Jamie to the parade, try to salvage what's left of the day. Liz asks Ted if he'll drive them, and Ted happily agrees.
Why?
Just why ask Ted to drive?
Yeah. She's not into him. She's not humoring him. They presumably have another car.
Yes. Which, in my mind, I would have said this is because that car needs to be there for Howard to drive to the thing. But he takes a cab. So if she's not, I don't know why. It doesn't make much sense.
To rub it in?
Maybe.
I don't know.
And to further, because we need them to be alone in the car for a little Marty McFly and Lorraine Baines action or whatever's coming up. But they walk out.
Take your goddamn hands off of.
Hey, you.
Hey, you. Where's Crispin Glover?
I love that dude. He's such a quirky man.
He is.
Apparently hard to work with because he's such a quirky guy.
Yeah. Anyway, not in this movie.
Not in this movie, sadly.
Unfortunately.
Now, as they're walking out, Ted turns and is you can't bench press your way out of this one. Which is that's a pretty savage
Sick
takedown.
Burn.
Fortunate, that Howard doesn't just thrash him and skull fuck
kill him
right there in the
Jesus.
Oh, skull rage boner. But just then, the reindeer bursts through that closed door and charges at Howard again. Howard's had enough, and he lays that reindeer out with a big uppercut.
Fuck a reindeer.
That shit was crazy. That was a bookend to when he knocked out a camel in the first Conan.
Oh, yeah,
just fucking punching an animal is a strange choice for our hero.
Yeah.
But Howard then looks a little bit remorseful, tells the reindeer, "Oh, you started it."
That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So now we've got Ted driving Liz, Jamie, and Johnny to the parade in his wood-paneled minivan.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking quintessential minivan.
Love it.
I think my neighbors had that when my best friend,
it's
when I was little.
It's extra tiny, that
It was
minivan.
the Dodge Caravan, yeah.
But it's so small.
I think that was normal.
Yeah,
I think that was the size back then.
So small.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like a toy.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Jamie asks Mom if Dad's going to be at the parade. But Liz says don't count on it. Johnny tries to cheer Jamie up by reminding him that Turbo Man's going to be there.
You can always count on him.
Now, back at the house, I love this. Howard is making peace with the reindeer by giving it beer.
They're drinking Grain Belt Premium.
Yes. Have you ever had that?
No.
That's like a staple of the upper Midwest.
I have never seen it, but I hear it's like a Minnesota thing.
I thought it must be a fake brand, but
I tried to, because at first when I saw it in just the shape of the label and stuff, it's kind of reminiscent of a Schlitz.
Yeah.
But then I found some trivia thing that was like, it's called Grain Belt Premium. And I was like, oh.
I went to this event, like a cocktail party just the other night, and it was put on by this, some distillery based out of Minneapolis that was fucking tasty shit. I'm looking up the brand name of this place right now. If I can find it. Fuck it. They don't get a shout out because I can't find it.
Speaking of shout outs, what are we drinking? Savage and
Cook. The Burning Chair is the name of the bourbon. I think it's
a Cabernet aged.
It's juice sourced from Indiana, I think, but they're in operation out of California. So they take it out to California, they age it, I think in like Cabernet barrels or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't detect red wine finish on it or anything like that. Do you pick up anything?
It's so subtle.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's very good.
I don't know that I'm not going to pay $60 for another bottle. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
But it's getting the job done.
Hell yeah.
Tonight, my friend.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
It's brown.
I like it.
I like it.
It pairs well with
goes well with the Arnold movie.
It goes well.
That's the holidays. The holiday
we like
cheer.
We like to drink the brown liquors when we're talking to Arnold.
That's right. In lieu of smoking a cigar.
Yeah. But yeah, he's Howard's given this reindeer beer, and I had read somewhere where there was like anti-drinking group that had big problems with this movie over this bit and the scene where the kid was like drinking bourbon earlier. Even though it was like a fantasy or whatever, it wasn't really happening. It was like a hallucination or something. But
people need more serious things to worry about in life.
Get a life. There's bigger crimes in the
world.
world.
Go feed a homeless person. Like, go help someone instead of being up in arms about a fucking movie. You crazy ass.
The reindeer.
Don't feed beer to reindeer.
I'll bet my life on set the reindeer was not drinking beer.
No. It was probably apple juice or like colored water. Or urine.
Yes. It was grain alcohol. It was Everclear. The reindeer died shortly after. Oh. But Howard, he stops in his tracks, taking note of Jamie's clubhouse, the gift that he had made mention of earlier.
Yeah, he made him a Christmas hero once upon a time.
Christmas hero. Yeah, he loved that clubhouse. Inside, Jamie's hung up a drawing of like the smiling, happy family. Not the drawing style of a 7-year-old child.
No.
That was like a professional cartoonist drawing or some shit like that. Like you're drawing in the local newspaper or some shit like that.
Yeah, like a court artist.
Not a 7-year-old Jake Lloyd did not draw that shit. But Howard, with a tear in his eye, tear in his eye.
Heartbroken.
He makes a facial expression that I could not quite decipher.
To me, it looked like he knows he's fucked things up and that things hadn't needed to happen that way. It could have been avoided if he'd been more attentive. That's sort of like the vibe that I got from
I was also picking up a hint of this looks like a drunk guy, like trying to sort of will himself to be sober. Again, almost like
I didn't get that.
I gotta drive. Well, but he didn't drive. You know what? That's probably why he didn't drive, is because then you got a dude who's just drinking and now hopping in the car.
That's true.
We can't have that happen.
That's a great point. No.
He had the good sense to call a cab for himself, to drive him from the burbs back into the city or whatever. But I love the thought that from here through the conclusion of the movie, he's just shit-faced.
He's buzzed.
He's shit-housed the whole rest of the movie.
At least he wasn't hiccuping.
Oh,
disaster.
True.
It's time I start keeping my promises.
Yeah. He tops the reindeer off with beer.
I love that.
I love that shit. Tells him he's on his own.
I mean, it's like eating grain. It's like if the reindeer was in a wheat field.
It's bread juice.
Yeah.
Time I start keeping my promises.
Bread juice.
I would say what you will, though, this dude is getting a lot of shit done today.
He's been going nonstop since, 7, 8 a.m.?
I mean, so at the toy store, the first toy store of the day opened at 9. So, and I was like looking online.
Drive into.
On December 24th, it gets dark at 4:30 in the afternoon. And we've got like hours of daylight left in the movie here. So I can't figure out how he's gotten this much shit done in like what must be 5 hours, 6 hours, something like that. Like he's done a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's a great point. What time's the parade? Because it's in broad daylight.
It's broad daylight. It must be, 3.
As someone
maybe,
who's lived in Wisconsin in the wintertime,
it's dark early, right?
It escaped me completely that if this parade didn't start at noon, that if it started at 3 or 4, it was going to be dark before it was over.
Yeah. The latest it could possibly be would be like 3. And even that would be, like you said.
A short parade.
A short parade, maybe just through a couple of blocks and it's over or something. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. We're not supposed to be thinking about that shit. We've got a lot of time left for a whole other chapter of this movie.
I'm very excited to finish this one off and celebrate with some Christmas cheer.
Some Christmas spirit.
That's right. Oh,
you made that joke in your drunken state.
Oh, my God.
Saying,
Stupid fuck. Kids, if you're going to drink big.
Yes, that's
Go
it.
hard.
Drink till you don't remember. If you don't remember, did it really happen?
Anyway, hope you guys are ready for the end of this one. In the meantime,
we'll be back.
They call me backdoor Santa. I make my runs about the break of day. They call me backdoor Santa. I make my runs about the break of day.
I like also that Liz cycles through surprise at here. Man,
Johnny,
this is crazy. Man,
is it the Calumet Farms?
I don't know what it is.
The bourbon.
So Liz cycles through surprised at hearing that remark, then resigned and sort of disappointed.
This is going to be the best episode ever.
Oh, fuck.
I'm leaving all the hiccups in. John's all fucked up.
Fuck.